What the fuck did I just watch? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? 13 points in the fourth quarter. 8 of 17 from the fucking free throw line. This is unbelievable. Like, what? What the fuck did we just watch? You can't win a championship like this. This team is falling by the minute. How do you blow such a lead like that? Come on. You know how? Because of Brett Brown. That's how. Not being able to make in-game adjustments again. You let them score 35 points in the fourth quarter. 2 guys killed us. All they did was a high pick and roll. Back and forth with Jokic, the fucking schnoz. His nickname shouldn't be the Bull, it should be the fucking schnoz. And Jamal Murray. Gee, that's a brain buster, Brett. How do we shut these down? I'll tell you, you keep shooting threes. You don't move the ball, and you just keep shooting threes. My God, man. It's unbelievable. It's a joke. Absolute joke. You throw away a great game. You were playing such good team basketball early on. The bench was showing up, and then you fell in love with the three. Yet again. It was great because we were doing good from downtown, 12 of 18. And then you just decided to shoot 26 overall. Let's keep shooting because they're going to keep going down, right? We're the Golden State Warriors out here. We got Klay Thompson on our team. We got Chef Curry. We got all these guys. We're just going to keep nailing these threes. It was a blessing that we hit 12 of 18 before the fourth. You serious? 32 points in the paint? You can't shoot 47% from the free throw line. You can't. You can't just keep jacking up threes and hoping they're going to fall. Why don't you draw up a goddamn game plan? You know, do some rub-off screens, some pin downs, something other than one pass, shoot the three. It's like watching it with JJ all over again. Except there's just new faces doing it. You're not going to win a championship with Brett Brown. You're not. He's a fool. Just get the agony over with and get rid of him. My God, man. Jesus Christ. JoJo needs to stay down low and dominate. Yeah, he does. He's out on the perimeter too much. You know, he puts the ball on the... He had 8 turnovers tonight. Too much. He shouldn't be trying to take a guard off the dribble. You know, when he gets it down low, this is Big Man 101, you shouldn't put the ball on the floor so 4 guys can grab on it. You're 7-1, bro. Go down. You're a lunch pail type of guy. Go down and do work. And that was a bullshit call on JoJo at the end of the game, too. Not that that was the deciding factor or anything. Because all that shit I just mentioned before is what killed us. Not the bogus call. And let me ask you a question. What is the point of a coach's challenge? I mean, really. All they do is look at it and never accept it. That call on JoJo when he stole the ball was clean. That was bullshit. The same with Jokic when they challenged it. That wasn't a foul on Jokic. I don't know what the hell they were looking at. But you can't have a guy foul out like that. The refs need to swallow their whistles. You cannot decide a game like that when it's that close, when you got the 2 bigs banging around. You have to get a little physical. Okay? Just like in the NFL. The refs should never be a deciding factor in a game. And it seems like in every sport anymore, that is all we're talking about, is them being a deciding factor in a big game. They held the Saints out from going to the Super Bowl. You know? This, who knows what happened with that 1.2 seconds left. Maybe we would have got that bucket. It would have been game. I mean, it's a fucking joke. Can't wait till Jokic, a.k.a. the choker, blows the playoffs again. You mean the schnoz? The giant nose with eyes? It's just piss poor coaching. It's awful. That was it. Piss poor coaching. Sloppy basketball and 13 points in the fourth quarter. That's all he does. That's all any of these players do is complain. They look for the refs to bail them out every single time. That's all that happens in sports. Let me cry to the ref and see if I'll get a call. Yeah, a broken play and he just chucks it up and it goes down. That would never happen for the Sixers. Ever. A scrambling broken play and it just goes up. I feel you, Gaffner. My team lost the Knicks of all teams. Yeah, that's bad. That is bad. Brett Brown's got to go. He should have went 2 years ago. It's the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. Why do we keep discussing this shit? Why does the guy keep getting all these chances? I don't understand. I don't care about his 52-win seasons. That don't mean shit. Okay? What matters the most is holding that trophy up at the end of the year. He's had a complete team now. It's not like he's had scrub teams for these past 2 seasons. Either one of those teams could have went to at least the Eastern Conference Finals. We've plateaued. He's going to get you to a certain spot. He cannot close out games because he can't make adjustments. He's a bona fide cheerleader that is a player's coach. He's not an X's and O's guy. That is clear. Why did we chuck threes up with bigs up in 20s? At least have Harris on the guard, shoot him. Exactly. Because we have Brett Brown as a coach. That's why. That is why. Because we had the lead. All you had to do was work the half-court offense instead of passing it around the perimeter and chucking up threes. Why was Al Horford hovering around the three-point line? Like, get down low. Try to get contact. Go to the free throw line. Regardless if you were so horrible from the free throw line tonight. Nuggets are pretty good, no offense, Sixers fan. Yeah, they are. But the Sixers easily should have won this game. They blew a humongous lead going into the fourth quarter. They should have shut it out. That's the problem, the free throw line. That's the problem. Chucking up 33s a game is the problem. Like, you have a big... Why do we have to adapt to the NBA? Who cares what everybody else is doing? Stick to what we know and what our players' strengths are. And that's going to the free throw line, regardless of how bad, you want to bang low. 32 points in the paint is not going to get it done. It's not. They killed us in the paint tonight. They got 50 points. You play the two-way game. I don't know why we don't do pick and roll. Nonstop. You've got probably the best, I think we have the best big man in the league, no, hands down. And we just seem to just want to keep shooting threes, and I can't stand it. I don't care if they were 12 or 18. That's great. That's not going to continue to happen. You're not a great shooting team. We should get on our knees and thank the heavens that we were shooting close to 60% from downtown. You walk away with that with your head held high, and then you just try to bleed the clock. That's like going into a lead, in football, and just continuing to throw as opposed to running the clock and running the ball. It makes absolutely no sense. It's a disgrace. Brett Brown's not going to win us a championship. I've been saying this for years. Tell Brett Brown to win versus elite coaching. Tell him the Suns to stop it. I really wanted Lloyd Pierce to be our next coach, but we decided to let him go and keep Brett Brown. Brett Brown, people. Look at Monty Williams doing a hell of... Whoa. My fault. Look at Monty Williams doing a hell of a job with the Suns. Lloyd Pierce, look at the job he's doing with Atlanta. What seems to be the deciding factor here? Yes, it's early in the season, but we no doubtly should have won all these games on the West. You want to be a great team that goes to the championship, you got to be very good on the road. You got to be actually better than good. You have to be at least, like I said, 15 games above 500. You had options. You let Lloyd Pierce walk out of here. That was the guy to keep. A visionary. Fresh blood. We're going to be like the Blake Griffin-led Clippers. At least that team had Doc Rivers, a great Hall of Fame coach. If Doc Rivers had a team like this, man, imagine the possibilities. But look at his deck of cards he's got out there in L.A. He's probably got the best team he's had ever. Better even than that Boston team. I mean, what's Brett's excuse going to be after this game? We got to do a better job. We just got to keep chucking up threes. The problem is coaching, but also nobody goes in a clutch situation. They try to have JoJo be the clutch guy. You saw it. He tried to take a guard off the dribble. I don't understand that. That's when your coach should be in your ear and be like, listen, Tobias, we're going to draw a play up for you. We're going to draw something up as opposed to just dribble, dribble, pass three, dribble, dribble, pass three, dribble, dribble, pass three. Dude, 60 wins. I don't care if we win 70 wins. It doesn't matter unless you hoist that trophy up at the end. You remember when the Warriors broke that record of the Bulls? Do you think anybody cares about that? No, because they didn't win the championship at the end of the year. It's fugazi. It's trash, bro. I don't care if Brett Brown wins 50 games a year. If we get knocked out in the second round of the playoffs each time. Woo! Do you think people talk about Andy Reid and all those years of winning when he was here? Nope. Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson all the way. Nick Foles. Why do you think all those people wanted to keep Nick Foles rather than Carson Wentz? Because he won a chip. We will be lucky to win 50 this year. That's the damn truth. With this team, you have anyone could coach them into 50 wins. Okay. Is that going to get us over the hump? Get us to the finals? I don't know if Brett Brown's going to be able to get us to 50 wins this year. Not with the rate this is going. That's a disgrace. Did you see the Jazz buzzer beater against Milwaukee? That's what I'm saying. It's killer, man. It's killer to have a lead like that, playing good. You got so much production from the bench. Kyle O'Quinn played great. Korkmaz played good. Both the backup points played good. Neto, awesome. Trey Burke, how about his Sixers debut? He played great. Josh Richardson came up with 2 great defensive plays to keep you in this. It's all falls by the wayside when you let that shit happen and you knew it was going to happen. Everybody in the building knew. 2-way game. Back and forth, back and forth. Jokic, Murray. I wish we could have a shooter of the caliber of Murray or a Steph Curry. That can do so much for your team. To be able to hit just crazy big shots. Trae Young. Why can't the Sixers have a scorer like that? The ability to shoot and knock it down. God, you imagine if we did have somebody like that, it'd make Brett look like a genius. Because then they'd be knocking down all these threes possibly. And we wouldn't be sitting here smashing our heads against the wall. How about the Bucks? They took away from Bede but didn't win the challenge, but reversed it on the floor. I didn't see that. I'm talking about all the Sixers games that I've watched, whoever they've played. I think this is Brett's first challenge actually for the season, right? If I'm not mistaken. But I mean, those 2 examples right there, I haven't seen any real challenges overturned. May that have happened in that Bucks game? Possibly. I don't know. Mainly watch the Sixers. I don't really have time to watch any other NBA teams, unfortunately. I'm more of a football guy. It's what's behind the bucket rule fell on the floor. It was the behind bucket. He should have kept the bench in more. They had more energy. They had more energy and great chemistry. Because Embiid was not his regular self tonight. And I'm not even going to blame anything on the altitude. I don't want to hear that shit. That's an excuse. It was just sloppy basketball. It's all right, Sixers fans. You guys faced a good Nuggets team, and you got to give the respect. Or we could call it what it is, and the coach was a complete moron and blew it. I think that's pretty fair. Embiid's backwards layup, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, when Jokic got fouled, they took it away, but they still called the foul on Jokic. So was that like that wasn't a one challenge though? Is that what you're referring to? And they are just flirting around with it. It is the first year, so maybe they're not decisive. I know it goes to New York like all the rest of them. But that Embiid steal looked pretty clear to me. He got all ball, so I don't know what they were looking at. I don't know if they're looking at a body flail or what it was. But you just can't have that. You got to come up with a better game plan, man. No matter what roster we have, Brett Brown is the remaining factor. Very true. Not Embiid got, and the first Nugget challenge, it was called a shooting foul. Okay. Don't beat down yourself, Sixers fans. It's the coaching staff's fault. Oh, we know whose fault it was. It's 100% the coaching's fault. Should have split this freaking... If anything, it was a hard-fought win against when Utah beat us. It was a very sloppy game, but we had this one in hand the whole time. The whole time. That's why I'm so angry and frustrated. That's why I've lost my voice. That's why I put 3 holes in my wall over there. I mean, it's just unbelievable to play such a good game and then you just give it away on stupidity. Don't you think he should have fouled? I missed that, homie. You can put that up again. But there's so many more things they could have done. Jokic versus Embiid takes. You put 3 holes in your wall, bro. Calm down. Nope. Think Ben would have made a difference? He could have. That maybe defensively. I mean, I'm not. The backup point guards played great tonight. You never know when a player's out. Ben could have affected the game in the transition. You know, of course, he's one of your better players. But you got good production out of both backup point guards. They both were able to score the ball, facilitate the offense. I love how Ul Neto's played, and Trey Burke, I thought, had a good coming out party tonight. You know, I'm glad he got some minutes finally. He can break down a defense. He can shoot the 3 a little. He knocked down that side 3. But the bench was good tonight. Kyle O'Quinn, outstanding. Furkan's been playing great out of nowhere. He has. I hope this continues to happen, man. If maybe that just finally clicked. His pump fakes tonight were outstanding. Like, the bench played so good. They outplayed the starters tonight in every facet of the game. Cork has been impressive this year. And I hope this confidence continues to grow and it keeps coming. If he can be a viable piece off the bench, makes you feel a little better about this bench, you know? It was a big question mark in years past. They never had a bench. Well, now they got a bench. Elton Brand has went out and done everything possible. Never in my life would I say to myself, the bench been better than our start. I know, right? We finally have reliable bench pieces. And we got to thank Elton Brand for the magic that he's worked. By paying all these guys the money that they've earned and then putting the right pieces on this team. I think they all fit well. You've got the nastiness of Kyle O'Quinn, who can stretch the defense. He was playing great defense on Jokic. Jokic, by no means, was having an easy time with him. He was able to body him up, get in his face, make him work for all his points. That giant schnoz is just a fat, sloppy fool. Let Elton make some moves for the Birds. Hey, man, if he could go multi-sport, let's get it. But for only being a 2-year GM, if you want to count him down there with the Blue Coats 3, impressive. Great work. The guy's very knowledgeable, and you never know what you're going to run into with somebody that's never been in that position before. You're seeing it more in sports. Look at baseball. They're hiring guys that have never done the job. Skippers, they're getting overlooked by guys that have done it before. The Nuggets are a good team. I'm not saying they're not a good team by any means, but the Sixers choked on a big one tonight. They should have won. They should have not lost this game. This should have been a Sixers W next to this. We should have split the West Coast series and headed back home to face these garbage teams where we should not lose one of these games with the trash that we're playing. Nuggets took advantage, so I can't take credit away from them, but we choked away that game 100%. I blame more of us losing this game than them coming back and winning. We did everything possible to let them get back in this game. Whether it was the back-to-back missed free throws, whether it was just stagnant, a little no offense, no ball movement. I mean, we could have ended the night with 38 assists. I mean, you look at before, I think it was either the third or going into the fourth. I think we were 12 or 18. So that means we made 1 3 from that point all the way to the end of the game. And we ended up with 26 threes. Right? And I really wish I would have looked at the stat to see how many assists we had at halftime or going into the third quarter. But the ball just died. We started off 5-0. We are now 5-3. And look at the Celtics. They've won 6 in a row. They're getting hot right now. I don't know why people were sleeping on the Celtics just because they lost Kyrie and Horford. They're still a very good team. You know what their X factor is? Their coach. He's awesome. Brad Stevens is a baby genius over there. I wish we could have somebody at the helm, somebody with knowledge, an architect. We got to start scouting. Can we pry Jay Wright away from the Wildcats, please? Celtics are pretty good, better than Sixers. I would give them the nod because of the coaching staff. Talent-wise, I think the Sixers have a slight edge, but the Celtics are still a good team. And I don't know if the coaching staff or the Sixers are listening to all this outside hype of we're going straight to the finals. Well, you still got to play the games, okay? So you got to block out all that bullshit from the outside. Stop letting everybody hype. Every time this happens, when national media hypes up a Philly team, we always underwhelm instead of overwhelm. We do better as the underdog story that when we come out of nowhere, not being the top dog. Look at the Eagles this year. They were predicted to go back to the Super Bowl. Boy, has it been ugly. Phillies, after they signed Harper. Oh, yeah, we're going to the World Series, no problem. Yeah. Look what happened there. But we signed Gabe Krapler. Thank God ownership came to their senses and got rid of the crapster. And now Brett Brown and the Sixers. Look at this contending team. They've got all the right pieces. Joel, Ben coming into their own. They got all these great pieces during the offseason. And it looked good in the beginning with the defense. But these last 3 games are very telling, y'all. Don't let don't let it just because it's early in the season. This could happen in June if we get there. This could happen all throughout the year. We've seen this story before. We know this ending. Who would I want now as who? Coach? I don't know. We keep letting all these great options go. Jay Wright, please. Please, let's get Jay Wright. For us to have a top defense, we leave teams open on the pick. Dude, pick and roll has been the Achilles heel of the Sixers for the past 3 or 4 years. We know it's coming, yet we don't make adjustments to it. And you know whose fault that is? Numbnuts. That's whose fault it is. You know every team that's going to come in here and exploit us. We have trouble with quick guards that can shoot, which has been Murray, Curry, Trae Young. They murder us on the pick and roll, and we do nothing to stop it. It is like an open sieve that it's like, okay, Sixers, let's just open it even more, and we're going to bleed out. Just like tonight when we blew that 20-point lead. Man, wasn't that something? God damn. It's just frustrating, guys. It's just so goddamn frustrating to see this when you see the capability and what you can do. And you just let it all unravel. It just continues to keep happening. And you're going to ride out with Brett Brown. They're not going to fire this moron mid-season, early in the season. They're going to let this rock out throughout the entire year. They're going to see what he's going to do. But he's not going to win us a championship. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Not with this schmuck. He has Embiid playing like a guard. Yep. Yes, he does. He's giving it to his best player, and he's letting him take guards off the dribble. A 7'1", 250-pound center. He's letting him take the dribble at the high point, right above the key. It's great, isn't it? It's genius. It's groundbreaking. Jay Rich has been awesome. I love the aggressiveness. He's starting to kind of finally find his role on this team, which is nice to see. I just love the backup points. I've been so impressed. Jay Rich has tonight he made 2 crucial defensive plays that almost stopped the Nuggets from getting the W. But it just wasn't enough. Embiid used to look more fluid in the post, but it happened. He still gets buckets, but it looks more raw. It's ugly, man. He's unless he gets real deep position down there, I don't know why sometimes he'll start to call for the ball when he's 15 feet away from the basket. Like, he should always be trying to get deep post, pass it back out till he gets reestablished. He looks sloppy, though. He's very sloppy and careless with the ball. Always has been. He's got to get way better at that. And I hope that's a trait that he can break, much like Ben breaking his mental state of not wanting to shoot and be aggressive. Because we need these 2 big fellas to will us and almost play perfect with the jackass that we got running the squad. Dude, 21 blown lead is not as bad as blowing a what? I don't know, man. 21-point leads. It's pretty awful. Especially when you're supposed to have the one of the top defenses in the NBA, too. Sure as shit didn't look like it tonight. Not at all. Not when you run the pick and roll. It's our kryptonite. Yeah, it's not bad until you realize that we've been doing it for years and years. Yep. It's been happening and happening and happening and happening. No fixing it. No adjustments. It's too confusing for the cheerleader with the Boston accent. So, now that this West Coast trip is finally over, we go 1-3 on that crucial, awful road trip. We come home to the Wells Fargo Center, and we play the 4-4 Charlotte Hornets. Should be an easy win, but I don't know. You figure this would fuel the fire of these kids. We will be without Ben. He's out for the next 2 games, 3 games total. But I'm not worried about that because we've got solid backups. What I've seen out of Howell, he's getting more acclimated with the starters. So I think we should be okay beating them. They don't have Kemba Walker anymore. They got Scary Terry, but I ain't worried about him. And then we play, what, OKC. We play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those teams are all under 500. So we should pick up these 1 and 3. And remember, in Portland, we got pretty damn lucky. We were down 21. We willed our way back, but we should be able to pick up some games with these doormat teams we're playing. Sixers will be fine. They will beat Charlotte. We lost 3 straight to 3 quality teams. We need a shooter. Yeah, bro, but we blew a 21-point lead. Come on. That can't be overlooked. And the fashion they lost it in, I mean, it's not like they did it over 2 full quarters. They did it in like a quarter. We have no money to spare. It's got to be a vet minimum. It's horrendous. 35-13. You can't score 13 points and let up 35. It's a joke. Yeah, but as far as getting a shooter, we are at the max with everything. We have no roster spots. I think we might be able to do... I don't know how that would work. I don't know if we get rid of one of the 45-day contract guys or we put... Because I believe Sayer's still considered on this team. You know, he's down there playing with the Blue Coats. So that'd be interesting to what we could do to get a shooter. And I think it would only be through a trade. But what are you giving up? That's the thing. We need Howie to come manage the cap for the Sixers. That'd be awesome, right? That would be clutch. That's why it was kind of shitty that that's why I didn't want to give Al as much, but you needed to pay him to get him away from everybody else. Get rid of Ennis or Kyle Quinn through a trade. What's up, Eric? Nah, I like both of those guys. I like both of them. Kyle O'Quinn is so solid. You can't get rid of him. And Ennis, too. He's a great offensive rebounding guard. He's lanky. I don't want to get rid of Ennis either. So, I mean, what do you give up to get? Ennis would be great offensive boards. I love James Ennis. Great to bring him back. Same with Mike Scott to bring that grit. I just wish Ennis could shoot a little bit better. It's just what we got to live with. That's why when we were during the draft, we got another defender that really can't shoot. It would have been perfect. How awesome would it be if we could get Kyle Herter from Atlanta? Somebody like that. That's kind of fallen out of the rotation. If we can pull off something along those lines, we need a knockdown shooter, though, to help Brett not look as stupid. He's been awesome. I'm going to tell you the truth about Neto. I didn't know anything about this kid when we signed him. I didn't know who he was, never heard of him, and he's impressed me a lot. I knew Kyle Quinn was like an energy guy, a grit guy. I didn't know he could stretch it beyond the three-point line, but he's been knocking down big shots. He's a good defender. He brings energy. Awesome. Awesome one-year signing. I'd like to bring him back. I've never felt disappointed and optimistic about our players. All the same time in a loss, we blow a lead. It's frustrating, man. Sucks. 5-3. 3 straight losses now. God damn. It's a long season. But I don't know if I could take this all year long. Not when my hopes are so high. Not when my Phillies completely got my hopes up and disappointed me. I don't want my Sixers to do the same thing. Out of all the teams that I follow in Philly, which is only 2 of them, I had really high aspirations for the Sixers. I still do, but it just kind of leaves that negativity in the back of your mind, like Brett Brown. I don't think he can get us to the glory days, hoisting that trophy. He's not a Nick Nurse. He's not a Brad Stevens. He's not a Popovich. He's not of this. He's not of that. He's been here. He's been in the same system for 7 years, and we still are talking about the same issues that we did from day one. Except day one during the process, we had excuses because there was zero talent on the team. Can't be saying that now for the past 3 years. Mark Jackson would be perfect for our team. He's been blackballed. You're talking about Mark Jackson that used to play for the Pacers, right? That used to coach the Golden State. I would love Mark Jackson here. I'd love anybody but Brett Brown. I've been calling for this Bull's head for a couple years. And I used to like Brett Brown in the beginning. I was a big Brett Brown supporter, and then I started to notice nuances of this fool. Gives you a headache, man. I do watch football. Football's my favorite sport. I don't give two shits about hockey. But I'm not an Eagles fan. He'll be fine. Brett needs... do coach's salary count against the cap? I think they do, actually, because you can actually trade coaches. You can trade for coaches. I mean, remember when Boston traded Doc Rivers for a couple picks? So they might count against the cap. Yeah, I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm not an Eagles fan at all. No, I'm not. Nope. I don't root for the Cowboys. I don't root for anybody in the NFC. I'm an AFC team. Ben Simmons might have pulled the greatest catfish ever when he's telling us he's going to shoot when it's open. He's just doing that to calm everybody down in the media because we're all freaking out. Nope, but you're in the right division. I'm not a Colts fan, but you're in the right division. You're never going to guess it. Well, maybe you might now that you got 3 other choices. Booyah. Yep, I'm a Jags fan. You got it. See? Oh, where is it? There it is. Jags all day. Oh, Titans. Nah. Yeah, Nick Foles. I didn't want him either. Bag fan? What do you mean, Eric? What are you talking about, bruh? The what? You like to call them the what? The Tidians? But, yeah, man. Jag bag? Yeah, I'd like to put my head in a bag after watching them this season. They got me all hyped, too. Not because of Nick Foles. I didn't want Nick Foles. At all. But little Minshew Magic never hurt anybody. He did an okay job. But I get just as mad as my football team with the boneheaded shit that they do. Yep, Fournette is a beast. I like him. But the Jags front office is as stupid as Brett Brown. I mean, they basically pushed the best corner in the league out of town. But what are your all thoughts? Who do you think's faults tonight? You know, you definitely got to... Am I the only one that think it was Brett? Does anybody else think that Brett Brown can lead this team to a chip? Yeah, but Eric, Foles doesn't have the team that he had with the Eagles. That's why he's not going to be successful with the Jags. I'm happy that he got paid finally, but he's not going to have anywhere close to the success that he had with the Eagles. Who did I want at QB? Nobody in particular. I just didn't want them to pay Foles $88 million. Yeah, I agree with that. And it's a shame that it's not going to happen because you can't do it mid-season, firing them, you know? So, we're going to be dealing with this shit all year long. So, get ready to have your heart palpitations. Bubbles going up your neck, not being able to breathe, screaming, having the veins pop out of your head. I don't know if anybody's as crazy as I am like that, but I get pretty heated, man. Like, really pissed off. Me kicking my trash can and shit, putting dents in it. Anger level just goes a little, gets the best of me sometimes. The Bucks coach. Who is the Bucks coach? I can't remember who it is. For some reason, it's slipping my mind. It's obviously it's not Jason Kidd anymore. I can't remember who the Bucks coach is. No chance in us getting him. Oh, Budenholzer. Oh, man, yeah. A true Popovich disciple. Brett not playing the bench players down the stretch. Brett Brown. Yep. I remember hearing from players saying Brett Brown let Ben and Embiid fool around. He's a pushover. Brett Brown's a pushover. He's a doormat. He does whatever the player, or he lets the players do whatever they want. He's not a hard-nosed guy. He's a cheerleader. He's a bona fide cheerleader. He has no control over this team. So, Sixers lose a big one. Blow a 21-point lead with, 13 minutes to go to end the game. It was just crucial down the stretch. 35-13, shooting 47% from the free throw line. And nonstop jacking up threes at the end of the game when you had the lead. That's idiotic. Again, it's like throwing the ball when you have the lead in football without running it and try to run the clock out. You should have bled. You should have draw plays, pin downs, do some high pick and roll, do something other than one dribble pass. You're not allowing your and also you're not allowing your defense to be set up when you shoot the three, because then the team's able to run in transition and you're just screwing yourself. Simmons should be out only 2 more games. They have lately, Dougie Fresh. They have sucked lately. Yes, sir. They went from a hero to a zero real quick. 5-0 to 5-3. And you've seen it each game with the continual disappointment. My blood is boiling. I've calmed down significantly from talking to y'all. So I appreciate that. It's kind of like therapy a little bit. But I was fuming. I was pissed. Really pissed. KSI or Logan? What do you mean by that, Dougie? So, we just got to pick up the pieces, fly back home. We play on Sunday now. We get another break. No more out west. Oh, why didn't he play? I guess Brett Brown didn't want to put him in the roto. He hasn't been... I mean, he's defensively he's good, but maybe he wanted some more shooting out there. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't watch MMA or boxing, so I can't really comment. But he's mixing up the rotation a little bit. The rotation was a lot better than it was in Utah, so I'll give him a little credit for that. At least he was mixing it up a little bit. But the way the bench played when he had Kyle O'Quinn out there, Kork Maz, and Josh Richardson, Trey Burke, and he didn't have Horford out there much with the second unit, which I was kind of surprised. He put him in with Embiid a lot. But that was a nice little... That the team was playing really... That's what built this lead up, was those guys in there. The Celtics look phenomenal. And I hate saying that because I freaking hate the Celtics. But they won 6 in a row. They're cruising now. But it wouldn't matter who you gave Brad Stevens. He would get this team to a playoff team. He's a great coach. Phenomenal. One of the young and up-and-coming coaches in this league, to say the least. I wish we would have got him when we had the chance, but you know who we went with. The Sixers haven't had a really stellar coach since Larry Brown. There's been a lot of duds, and a lot of dud GMs since Pat Croce, but we filled his position real quick. Do you think Simmons and Embiid will ever take the next step to really make a run for a championship? I've seen Embiid improve every year, so I have high hopes for him. His stuff that he really screws up on is minor. It is frustrating. He does fall into those slumps, into his old ways, but I think with a hard-nosed coach, that shit wouldn't happen. And With Simmons, no. I don't think Simmons is ever going to get out of that rut. And I believe the biggest reason is because of Brett Brown. Brett Brown's known him a very long time. Brett Brown's also a pushover. He's a family friend. He's not going to push the envelope on Simmons, nor on any player. Embiid always seems to turn over because he falls in love with dribbling like a guard. Yeah, I know. And you know who should be benching him or doing whatever, getting on his ass? Our coach. But I never see him yelling at any of the players. He's like Gabe Kapler, patting him on the ass. Good job. Hard outs. Turning the ball over. Keep shooting those threes even though they're not going down anymore. No ball movement. Good job. We'll get them next time. Next game, next game, next game. Man, I would trade Simmons for Booker any day, bro. Any day. That would be the greatest trade in NBA history. That's what we need, though. We need that type of shooter on this team to be able to, pace and space. Trey Burke did. Raul Neto did. No, I'm not doing Simmons for Fox. No way. Tatum. I like Tatum, but why am I tripping, Eric? Because I want to get rid of Simmons for Booker? Come on, bro. You know I'm Simmons' #1 hater. Nah. I like SGA though. He's nice. Man, I don't know who's has Booker 1. He's turnstile. Notice we've lost 3 straight without Simmons. I don't think that has to do with Ben though. Well, definitely tonight didn't, for sure. Because our backup points, again, did a good job. It solely falls on coaching tonight, and there's missed free throws. Yes, Josh could play the point after enough work. I mean, I would love to just have that ability to have, like, the mid-range. Because look at Jamal Murray. Anywhere on the court, he can score. Just the ability to shoot, and it draws defenders in, and you can pass out of it. I mean, he's a stud. He's absolute stud. Clean house? Oh, whoa. Don't be too drastic. It's only enough room for one drastic guy, and that's me. That's way too drastic. Not breaking his team up. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here. Ben's a tone setter, though. He understands defense. He is. No doubt. I don't know if him being in here would have affected it at all with his ability to get into the passing lanes and play good defense. But, I don't think Simmons. How much did Burke and Neto have? Like 18? Well, who knows? Ben could have scored that. But we'll never know because he's hurt. And, we can't look at that and be like, oh, if Simmons played, he might have won. We should have won without him. We didn't need him tonight. We had great team chemistry earlier on, and we just blew it. We choked on the big one. We got throated hard by the Denver Nuggets and Mike Malone. Ugh. And the schnoz. God damn, I hate that schnoz. I wanted Tyler Herro. I know. We should have got him in the draft. But the Heat got him. And now they're going to enjoy his talents. I really wanted us to package our picks up and jump up and get Tyler Herro. But we didn't. And we got Thibault. We got another defender that can't shoot. Good thinking. I think he'll blow up like Book. Maybe not as big, because Booker's a superstar, but I think Tyler Herro will be a good player. All right, guys, I'm going to get up on out of here. Leave your comments, concerns. 5-3 now. 3 straight losses. It's tough to win on the road. But I'll say it before and I'll say it again. You got to be above average on the road if you're going to win a championship. You can't be a couple games above 500 or at 500 on the road. You got to be better. We want everything to run through Philly. And this is not going to get it done. Still early, but Sixers win the East. Not playing like this, they're not. I have my concerns. I have major concerns. Bucks and Sixers looking kind of suspect right now. Hey, man. Who knows about the Bucks? Maybe the East is wide open. The Celtics could take it. Who the hell knows? I haven't watched the Bucks, so I don't know what's going on with them, but I see major holes with the Sixers. All right, guys, this is KG with BB. Sixers choke on the big one tonight. Brett Brown solely lost us this game, so we can thank that Boston schmuck. All right, I'm out. Peace.